Let's talk a little bit about ways that you can become smarter. Hey guys, welcome back to Tifero, it's me Matt here, and today we're going to talk a bit about intelligence. How can you become more smart? Now, a lot of people have gone through this same experience, and the experience is one where you're going through school, perhaps maybe you weren't the smartest, or maybe you were actually, top of your class, you were learning, and you were always getting smarter. And then when school finished, it was suddenly like your intelligence just dropped by, 20 points or whatever. Why is that? Why are you suddenly, not feeling quite as smart? Well, it's simple, because when you were actually in school, you were constantly learning. You weren't sitting back and just holding on to that information. You were constantly adding to it, and building upon it, utilizing it as well. And that's the key. You see, intelligence is a bit like a muscle. If you want to grow a muscle, you have to actually work it regularly so that it can grow. And if you actually stop working it and you just let the muscle be and you just sit there, you don't eat enough, you don't utilize the muscle at all, then eventually it will start to waste away. And it's the same with intelligence. You can be the most smart person on the planet, but if you go and spend the next 5 years just sitting in front of the TV, not doing anything useful, not utilizing your brain at all, you're not going to be quite as intelligent after that. So it doesn't matter where you are right now, whether you're, highly intelligent or whether you're not quite so intelligent, there are certain things that you can do to improve on that. Now, the first thing that I will suggest is to read. Yes, it's kind of the overstated one, but you should be reading. If you're not a fan of, books in hand, then you can read ebooks online nowadays, and you can find plenty of ebooks for older books and stuff like that for free online these days. You can buy them for cheap on Amazon, ebooks, for cheaper than full books. You can look at them on your phone with one of the Kindle apps or whatever. You can get a Kindle or something like that and read books on there. Whatever way you prefer to read, just make sure that you're actually reading some. It doesn't even have to be books, it can be articles and stuff like that, but find things that you're interested in and actually start to learn about them. Now, when I say to read, I of course mean some non-fiction. It's great to read fiction as well, and it will keep your mind active and creative, and it will help with your intelligence. But you should be learning some things as well, so you should be reading books about skills that you want to improve in, you should be reading books about, finance, about how to improve in relationships, about how to improve your body and health, that kind of thing. Whatever interests you, pick a few books in that subject and start to read those. So the next tip that I have is to ensure that you are actually utilizing the knowledge that you already have. I see this so often, and I was very guilty of this myself. I would read books. I would read lots and lots of books, thick, books from cover to cover with lots of information, and I would pick up all that information. And I'd be great at telling other people about this information or, explaining the basics. But I'd never put that information into use. I'd never gone out there and, practiced it and made use of the skills that I'd learned. And so I didn't have that kind of practical knowledge that really reinforces that you've learned. So as a result, my knowledge was kind of empty, and I wasn't really as knowledgeable on these subjects as I thought I was. As soon as I started practicing them, within a month or two of practice, I had gone from, the level that I was at to, miles and miles above it. And so you have to actually combine, absorbing the knowledge, the theory with some actual practice. And that is vital. My next tip is to meditate. Now, you've probably heard a lot about this already on my channel because I do advise meditation. Daily meditation is so healthy and helpful, and it's one of the most important things that I have ever started to do in my life. And when it comes to your intelligence, it really is dramatically helpful, because a lot of the problems that we have with our own minds just come from the amount of chatter going on in there. This kind of incessant rumble that is just going on in our heads all of the time because we're thinking so much about unimportant things. We just get caught up in these long thought trains, and we don't actually process things clearly and concisely. And by meditating, we can kind of take back the reins, we can take control of our mind again, and when we do that, we're actually going to be thinking more logically, we're going to be clearer headed, we're going to be more relaxed, and we're going to be able to think of things a lot better. We're, in essence, going to become more intelligent, more calm, more happy, less stressed, and there are so many more benefits that I won't even go into because, this is a video about getting smarter. So meditate every day for 10 to 20 minutes. If you don't know how to meditate, I'll give you a simple tutorial right now, because all you have to do is sit down comfortably, relax. You can keep your eyes open or eyes closed, whichever you like, and just focus on your breathing. Try not to get caught up in your thoughts. If you find yourself, thinking a lot, then just focus back on your breathing and just repeat that. Every time you find yourself distracted from your breathing, focus back on it and keep doing that for 10 to 20 minutes. That's meditation in a nutshell. There's nothing more to it. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Anyway, so that's that tip. My next tip is to change things up. You see, your brain gets very, very bored when it finds itself stagnating. If you're just sticking with one subject all of the time, you're going to find yourself bored of that subject and not really progressing in it. You actually have to change things up, mix things up a little bit and do different things. So, learn subjects that perhaps aren't, applicable to your area of work or whatever. So perhaps, you're working, I don't know, as a carpenter, and so you like to look at all these woodworking tutorials and read books about it and all of this. Well, you should learn other skills as well. Perhaps, learn a second language, or, learn sailing, or, learn how to tie fancy knots or something. Just learn something new, and you're putting your brain to work in new and different ways. And those different ways can kind of interact with each other, and your brain is going to be able to form new ideas better. It's going to be able to process things in different ways instead of just one fixed way of thinking. And as a result, you're going to become smarter. My next and final tip is going to be to not be afraid to admit how dumb you are. Now, this is going to sound a bit silly, we're trying to get smart, why would we want to be dumb? Well, the fact is we're all complete idiots some of the time. I am too. A lot of the time I will think I know exactly, the right answer to something. I'll think I know best, but I don't. Because no one knows the answer 100% of the time, but the way we think is as if we do. We always assume that our answer is right. We don't like to be told we're wrong, and this is a problem because this actually holds back our intelligence, because the longer until you see that you're wrong, the longer until you correct that mistake. And so it prevents us from learning, it prevents us from developing and actually becoming better people. So always be ready to accept the fact that you're probably wrong in many cases. When someone challenges you on something, instead of getting all defensive and going, whoa, hold up, I know better here, you're wrong. Instead of doing that, you actually have to go, okay, wait, someone's challenging me here, I have my reasons for believing I'm right, and I believe I'm right, but let me hear what they have to say. Let me have a look at their points and examine them myself without getting all heated and argumentative about it. Let me actually look at the points and see if they actually make a valid point. And even if I don't feel that they do, maybe I should do some more research on that and see other people's opinions, see the facts, and make up my mind based on all of that, rather than just going, hey, my view must be correct. Because the fact is, 99% of the time, when you're wrong about something, you're going to feel like if you're completely right about it still, the same way that you do when you actually are right. So just relying on the fact that you're sure that you're right is never a good way to do it. And it really will hold back on your intelligence. Anyway, that's been a few tips on how to be smarter, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, remember to subscribe up there, because we've got regular videos that come out multiple times each week. If you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down in the comments below. And if you want to keep watching, check out the video linked on screen. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care.